Before you watch this video, please click the subscription button below and hit the bell icon. First of all, let's open a Blender app. It first pops up a splash screen with its release info. From this splash screen, open a general file. Press N to unhide the Property tabs menu of the 3D editor window. Select Shortcut VUR tab, and then start the add-in Shortcut VUR. You may dock it to left, right, center of the 3D editor window, or attach to the mouse cursor. You may set its text color, button normal color, and button hovering color. Hide or unhide the mouse buttons. After this, you may again press N to hide the Property tabs menu. Make sure the currently selected editor type is 3D viewport, which allows you to manipulate objects in 3D environment. You must also know that you are working in a scene. Blender creates one scene for you by default. You may create more if you wish. You may also browse and link scenes in advanced stages. Make sure that the object interaction mode is set to object mode. Now press A to select all objects in the current scene of the 3D viewport editor, and then press X and E to delete them. Press numpad 1 to change the view of the 3D viewport to front orthographic. Press Shift, A, G and B to add Grease Pencil's blank object to the scene. Then go to the outliner editor with display mode set to view layer. This display mode displays collection and objects in the view layer. Now, double click on the grease object with the left mouse button. This makes the name of the object editable. Give any name to it. Then go to the Object Properties tab within the Property Editor window, and uncheck Use Light checkbox under the visibility arrow for the Grease Pencil object. Now go to the Material Properties tab in the Property window, and create a material by pressing New button on the tab. Keeping all properties intact, select the Fill checkbox under the Surface Collapsible item, and choose the green color as base color. Now, set the Object Interaction mode to Draw mode, that allows to paint grease pencil strokes. Press Shift, Spacebar, Shift 1 to select the Box tool, to create predefined grease pencil stroke of box shape. Now configure the color strength, that affects the alpha factor of the color of new strokes, from the second menu bar of the Blender. Finally, draw the box in the scene with Draw mode selected. The green colored background is ready now. Any animation movie rendered out of this can be used on top of another video using chroma effect. Here, we are going to do mouth speaking animation by rigging a simple circle of a grease pencil object. Now, press numpad 3 to change the view to right orthographic view. Set the Object Interaction mode to Object mode. Press A to select the object, and G to grab it, and Y to move it along the global Y direction to a small distance. Now, press numpad 1 to go back to front orthographic view. Now, go to the outliner editor, with display mode set to view layer, and hide the grease pencil object by clicking on the eye icon with the left mouse button. Now, press Shift AGB to create a new grease pencil object. Then, go to its Property tab, and uncheck the Use Light checkbox. Then, go to the Material tab, and create a new material by pressing the New button on it, and name the material. Then, go to the outliner editor, and double-click the newly created grease pencil object, and rename it. Now, set the Object Interaction mode to Draw mode. Press Shift Spacebar, and Shift 2, to select the Circle tool, to create predefined grease pencil stroke shape of circle. Then, from the second horizontal bar on the top, configure the radius of the brush in pixels, and also configure the color strength of the new strokes that affect the alpha factor of the color. Now, draw the circle by dragging the mouse cursor, keeping its left mouse button pressed. Now, change Object Interaction mode back to Object mode. Unselect the grease pencil object. Press Shift AL to add a lattice object to the scene. Then press S, and drag the cursor to scale the lattice, so that it covers the entire circle. Now go to the Lattice Objects Data Properties tab of the Properties Editor window, and configure Resolution UV and W, Under the lattice collapsible arrow, keep the resolution as low as possible. Now press number 3 to get the right orthographic view. Then press S and Y to scale down the lattice along Y-axis, so that it covers the circle closely. Press numbered 1 to get back the front orthographic view. Now, select the circle object and go to the Modifier Properties tab in the Properties Editor window. Select Lattice Modifier from the drop-down. Add Modifier, and then select the created lattice object, under the Object drop-down of the Lattice Modifier. This attaches the circle to the lattice modifier just created. Now, click to select the lattice object in the 3D viewport and set the object interaction mode to edit mode. Now drag the mouse cursor while keeping the left mouse button pressed to select the vertices you wish of the selected lattice object. Press G to grab the vertices and move the cursor. This will change the circle object attached to it. Now press A to select the entire vertices of the lattice object and S to grab it for scaling. Move the mouse cursor in the way you want to scale the attached circle object. Now let's start to rig the circle for mouth animations. First, set the object interaction mode back to object mode. Then, keeping the lattice object selected, go to the Object Data Properties tab in the Properties Editor window, and click the plus button under the collapsible shape keys arrow to create a base shape key. Now, press the plus button again to create another shape key. Now, drag in a mouth chart on the 3D viewport, and scale it up, to match the size of the first mouth shape on the chart, to that of our circle object. Now, select the lattice object, and set the object interaction mode, to edit mode again. Now, change the circle shape to that of the selected mouth shape of the mouth chart using the vertices of the lattice object, as discussed. Now, go back to the object mode, name the shape key after the name of the mouth shape in the shape chart, and keeping the lattice selected, go to the value slider that appears just below the shape keys. On changing the value, we can see that circle shape changes to mouth shape. This creates the first mouth shape from the chart for mouth animation. Similarly, creates all other shapes in the chart, each time starting from adding shape by pressing plus button and ending by naming, and testing it on changing value. This completes the rigging of a simple circle to different mouth shapes.